So let's talk about smaller batches. And I'm going to use a pretty rudimentary example. Um, I've got a work system that has three workstations. I got a chip install, a drive install, and a battery install for a computer base. Let's say each one of these takes 1 minute per um, computer, and it takes 5 minutes to transfer from the chip install to the drive install. We've decided for some reason that we want to make these in batches of 5. And so I'm going to do the chip install and do it on 5 of these things. Then I'm going to move it over to the drive install, do that batch of 5, and then move all of that to the battery install, and then I'll be done. So assuming each component takes a minute and the transfer takes 5 minutes, how long is it going to take us to get into testing so we can actually sell this thing? I know the math isn't rocket science, and I know you guys are all very smart. So, but you can tell pretty quickly that the 5 units into testing, it's going to take 30 minutes. It's going to take 30 minutes to go from the start to testing. And how long will it take to get the very first unit done? Well, that's going to be 21 minutes. So stick with me now. If we do batches of 1 instead, let's see, in an assembly line or an assembly cell, where we're going to put a chip in and move it right away to get the drive installed and move it right away to get the battery installed, and then put it in that supermarket waiting for testing to pull it, it's going to take us 3 minutes to get 5 units into testing. That is not right. It's going to take 3 minutes to get the first unit, 7 minutes to get all of them. There we go. So 3 minutes to get the first unit done. I had those backwards. Sorry about that. Here's the table. We're going to start at unit 1 and pass it right on. You can see that we can get all units made in 7 minutes. That's a lot better than 30 minutes, right? So the velocity is going to be a lot faster. We still got 5 done. We still got everything we needed to get done. It's just without all the inventory piling up. Now, I got to tell you a story about a fundraiser we used to do for my son's high school. Every year, the high school would do a hoagie sale. So, hoagie or sub sandwiches, they would have all the kids go out and collect, I think there were $3 for each one of the sandwiches. And you get turkey, or you can get ham, or you can get roast beef, or something like that. And then it came time for all the parent volunteers to come in and make all these sandwiches. So you got to make the sandwich, put it in a bag, and then put it in a cooler so you can deliver these things to the families later. So we're working at a table, and naturally, just naturally, people kind of go into this batch mode. So they'll take 3 or 5 hoagie rolls. And the first thing they have to do is put a little oil on the hoagie roll. And they want to do all 5 of those before they slide it down the table to the next station, which maybe put onions on. And we're going to do all 5 of them on onions. And then we're going to push them along. We're going to put the meat on. We're going to push along, put the cheese on, push along, and close it up and put it in the bag. Because we are so naturally inclined to do it in these batches, it's very hard for us to see how much faster it would be if we did one. So after being obnoxious, because I had to be obnoxious to get the table to stop and say, look, let's make one and then pass it. Make one and then pass it, and we'll get this thing flowing. We have the longest cycle time operation was putting it in the bag and sealing the bag, so we put 2 people on that job. By the end of the day, we had done 4 times as much as any other table in the whole room. So sometimes you have to assert yourself to make sure people are doing it this way. But how many different opportunities do we have to reduce the batch size on things? But we hesitate because of our experience and because what we've always done, and we've always been very comfortable with batches. In the storyline for Yeller Promotions, when we went from the baseline round into round 2, the one place round, notice we kept the batches of 5. And we did that very deliberately because with all of the other change that we would have had to introduce to go from that functional layout to that cell, the change for batching would probably just send everybody over the top. So we did that and we stabilized at that. Now we're going to move to reducing the batches and make a couple of other improvements. Next up, we're going to talk about the benefits you can expect from one-piece flow.